Hello, Melanie McCool here, clinical hypnotherapist. And I've got a message for you today that will help you to take you from keeping the brakes on right now, even in the midst of the stress that you may be experiencing, and help you to stay productive. Now, I have been an entrepreneur for 20 years. It's even hard to say it. So I've been engaged in the workings of the mind and the neuroscience of success for that long. And what I'll tell you is that when I started as an online entrepreneur 20 years ago, I had no business being in business. Okay. And there was a lot of mindset reset that I had to accomplish in order to do any of the things that I've done. And that is exactly what we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about changing your mindset so that you can end procrastination forever. But before we do that, I want to ask a serious question. And that is, how are you doing? Really? How are you doing? Because this is some of the most stressful times that humanity has ever faced. The uncertainty is incredible. It's crushing. There's no question. And even the most self-disciplined of entrepreneurs might find themselves in a cycle of self-sabotage and procrastination right now, finding themselves doing things that, well, they might not normally do, And as a clinical hypnotherapist, my passion is to free the entrepreneur, the genius entrepreneur, from those self-sabotaging behaviors so that they can reach their highest potential. This method of using hypnosis to do so is the most powerful. There's no question. And I hope that I'll be able to have you understand that completely today. I know that there's a shortcut. But before we do that, I want you to understand that what I'll be talking about are the real reasons that you may be self-sabotaging your goals and dreams, right? And I'm going to give you the way to end procrastination once and for all. And I am as absolutely certain that I can do that for you because, well, I did it for myself, all right? This method works, and it works every time. And I'm going to be giving you a live demonstration. So you'll be able to apply this right now, today, while you're feeling good, and also when you might actually be engaged in some of those procrastinating behaviors. So first, let's start by talking about what procrastination is not. Procrastination is not a character defect, okay? And it definitely doesn't mean that you're not cut out to be an entrepreneur. You may have begun your business in a state of absolute enthusiasm with a vision of the future that you were just certain would be yours, and had your goals and dreams so big and so real and so out in front of you, and somehow along the line you ended up putting the brake on. You've got one foot on the brake while your mind is trying to move forward, right? This is very common, and I'll promise you, you're not broken. You're not incurable. What procrastination actually is a stress response, okay? So if procrastination is a stress response, and what you're actually doing is trying to soothe yourself. Yes. So those behaviors like, scrolling on Facebook, trying to find something that's going to hit that dopamine button, or binging Netflix, or stress eating, or, just avoiding working altogether, that kind of thing. Or even oddly pinging back on the news repeatedly to get another hit of stress. Yeah, all of those things are procrastinating behaviors that will keep you from doing the work that will actually move you closer to your goals and dreams. But stress can be either internal or external. And we're usually pretty familiar with the sources of external stress, right? You might have a stressful environment that you live in, a relationship, financial worries, and, well, hey, we're living in incredible uncertainty right now. That's massive stress. Or they can be internal. And this is the worry, this is what's going on between your own ears, right? All of those thoughts about the what ifs that haven't even happened yet, right? And it might actually have already manifested in anxiety in the body. So you feel this complete overwhelm, this, fear, this fight or flight response in your body. And yeah, you're looking for relief. But you also may have self-doubts, fear, or even a chronic health condition. And all of those things are stressors, right? And those things, when you have that kind of stress on you, you engage in these comforting behaviors. And, you might not be binge watching Netflix, but you also might not know where the last 5 hours went, right? And you never did sit down to do any work at all. Or you might have created a life of busy, 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 but you're not actually doing anything productive. And, as I said, this is not a character defect. It's a fact of what we do when we're under extreme stress. So when you are procrastinating, you aren't doing what you said you were going to do in the first place. Makes sense. But what you might not know is that the best way to increase your self-esteem is to do what you said you were going to do in the first place. It's to keep your commitment to yourself, right? So if you've got this goal, this dream, this vision of what you want to create, yet you are doing everything not to move forward, this creates this push-pull in the body, and it actually creates feelings of distress, of guilt, of shame. You may be thinking that you have terrible time management skills, but hello, we got plenty of time right now. Isn't that the truth? So it's never been about time, has it? No. You might feel overwhelmed, frustrated, and you might even be at this point where you are just completely burned out. And burnout is it's extremely dangerous. There's no other way of putting it. People talk about burnout, they think about burnout, and they go for the mental aspects of burnout. You might be irritable and just, forget it, I'm done, quit, that kind of thing. But what people don't necessarily associate with burnout is things like anxiety, insomnia, stress eating or not eating, alcohol and drug use, digestive issues, or simply not taking care of yourself at all. And all of those things are directly linked to the stress that you're under. Okay, so you're under stress. You're not doing what you said you were going to do in the first place. And over time, that chronic stress can leave you sick. Now, I'm going to stop the bad news right there, because just you knowing that you could end up ill because of this stress ought to give you enough motivation to do what I'm going to ask you to do here in just a few moments when I give you the demo. Okay? Because you are not broken, and you can reverse this and now. And you can reverse it before you get to the point where you're actually dealing with illness like autoimmune or digestive issues or any of the other things that go on in people's bodies due to chronic stress. And I'll ask you, don't survive this pandemic only to succumb to stress, right? So as an entrepreneur, you may have come up with solutions, common solutions, right, that people will go to when thinking about how they're going to overcome this procrastination problem that they have, right? And they'll go for conscious solutions. Okay, so in other words, trying to, I think of it as whipping the monkey into shape, right? So you got this monkey mind that's going bing, 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 bing. And so we're going to whip the monkey mind into shape by throwing money at it, throwing coaches at it, throwing courses at it, those are the types of things that people will do. And I'm not saying that hiring a coach is a bad thing. I've got 2 of them. So coaches are great. But if you're hiring a coach because you think that's going to be the solution to get you into action. Unless they're doing hypnosis with you, it's probably you're going to get told what to do again, but you already know what to do. My guess is that you already have all of the training, all of the understanding, all of the personal development and professional development under the freaking sun to be as successful as you could be. But you're just not doing it. Why would that be? Well, because you're going for conscious solutions. We'll get to the other in a moment, I promise. So hiring another coach or paying for another course or sitting in another seminar or another conference because you don't think you know what you need to know yet, or buying another online course. Look, I have an online course, the LinkedIn Lead System, right? And I wonder how many people have actually purchased the course and never logged in to learn it all. Ask yourself that. How many courses have you purchased that you never even learned? And you thought, well, this is what I need to know. And once I know this, then I'll have the confidence and I'm going to roll over my goals. I'm going to run like the wind. I'm going to achieve everything I ever wanted to achieve. And then that course sat on your laptop, your desktop. It sat unlogged in. So it's really not about this conscious mind, is it? Hopefully this gives you a heads up, because it really has nothing to do with your conscious mind. But if you keep knocking on the door of your conscious mind and beating yourself up and circling around guilt and shame and frustration and ultimately burnout, you may decide, like many do, unfortunately, it's the worst thing, that the best thing to do is just to quit. Because if you quit, then all of this guilt and shame and pain will just end. Just give it up. Just forget that you ever thought you were an entrepreneur. Forget that you have a creative vision. Forget that you're a creator, that you're a magnificent creator. Nope, must not be, because I can't seem to get the work done. I'm not good enough, not smart enough, not confident enough, whatever it looks like. I'll quit. No! Hopefully I've caught you before you quit, all right? Because what I'm going to give you now is so fast and so easy. And I repeat this to myself all the time. I wish I had known what I know now 20 years ago. I can't even imagine how much different my life would have been. But hey, we only know what we know. And you only know what you're about to learn and can apply beginning right now. So let's look at what the real solution is, right? And the real solution is to get your subconscious mind engaged properly. See, your conscious mind is what you're learning with right now, where you're watching, you're learning, you're engaged. It's what you go after those courses and use. It's what it's your logical thinking mind. It's actually willpower. It's what moves you through the day. Thankfully, we have a conscious mind, because being unconscious all the time would be really messy. So you're conscious. Consciously, you want to succeed. Consciously, you could probably tell me exactly what you want, how much you'd like to earn, where you'd like to go with that money, what you'd like to do, who you'd like to help, what kind of change you'd like to see in the world, all of those beautiful things. You could tell me consciously, no problem. And yet you still have a foot on the brake. And it's because that subconscious of yours simply has some faulty programming. Now, your brain is like a computer. Now, stick with this analogy for a moment, because this is the easiest way to get it. Your brain is like a computer, and it may have some faulty programming of no fault of your own from the past, from when you were growing up. And it may be getting faulty programming on a daily basis if you are engaged in letting the wrong kind of information into your mind. If you're pinging back to the news repeatedly to get that anxiety, fear, and worry thing going. If you're, I'll just say media. Media can very well give you the wrong type of programming all the time. Media and advertising. So your mind is like a computer, and once you know that, then you can be very careful about what you allow to program it. And in fact, you can get rid of the faulty code and input what you really want. So your mind's like a computer, and it works really simply. It does what it thinks you want it to do, and it moves you away from pain and towards pleasure. It's as simple as that. And if your mind's leaving you away from pain and towards pleasure, it's always using the thoughts that you think to decide what you find painful. Okay? So I started this off by saying we're going to talk about the mindset that was going to help you to end procrastination forever. So it is important that you understand the type of mindset it is keeping you with your foot on the brake, okay? It's the thoughts that you think and the way that you're thinking about your business. Your mind will lead you away from pain and towards pleasure. It's also designed just to keep you alive, right? That's number one. Your mind's trying to keep you alive. So if the words that you use indicate that your business could kill you, well, the steps that you should take to be successful in your business could kill you, then your mind's pretty easily going to put that foot on the brake. And what do I mean? Well, if you say something like, I'm scared to death to do a Facebook Live, then your mind goes, that's deadly. That's not happening. Not going to let them do it. No way, no how. Break. Or if you think of a past failure or a rejection, or here's a good one. If you think that making a lot of money or being successful in business takes a lot of work or time, then that's painful, isn't it? To be overworked, heck yeah. Or to think that being successful might take you away from the people that you love, or even worse, take your health. Well, hello, your mind is meant to keep you alive and to move you away from pain and towards pleasure. So if you think that your business, if it's going to be hard for you to be successful, then it's going to lead you away. It really is as simple as that, but it's also as simple as turning it around. So if you know that your mind leads you towards pleasure, away from pain, and it uses the words that you use to determine what you think is painful, then change the words you use. That's it. Change the way you think, change the way you type, change what you're watching to feed the brain, this beautiful brain of yours. And tell your mind that you think it's freaking fun. It's amazing. You're enthusiastic. You think it's the most incredible thing that you get to do to build your business. Now, when I tell people this, sometimes they go, oh, really? Come on, give me a break. How can my saying, oh, this traffic is killing me, really lead to so much anxiety? Well, it's because your brain doesn't know the difference between real life and your imagination. Your mind, I should say. Your mind doesn't know the difference between real life and your imagination. And when you use words like, it's killing me, scared to death, I hate it, I'm going to strangle them. There's all kinds of weird stuff that people might use. And they're being, they're using these exaggerations. They think they're maybe being funny or dramatic or whatever. Your mind doesn't know the difference. And your mind pulls up all of the chemicals of the stress response. And if you're linking your business to a stress response, then your mind's job is to leave you away from business and have you go do something cool, like, I don't know, lay on the couch and watch a whole freaking episode of some wackadoos doing things that, anyway, no judgment. Because sometimes it's perfectly okay to lay on the couch and watch wackadoos do whatever the heck it is they do. But not if you're avoiding what you know you should be doing. So it is really important. It's incredibly important that you watch the words that you use. And I like to say, not only that you think, but that you type. It's so easy to see what you're typing and recognize negativity in what you're writing, and see where you might be not only, those faulty thoughts might be coming through your fingers, right? But it's also a chance for you to turn it around, to delete, and then write what you really, really want. See, if your mind knows what you want, it'll lead you toward it. So I like to say you've got to lie, cheat, and steal from your mind, and it works a charm. So what I mean is, the lie piece anyway, as let's say you wake up in the morning and you train yourself. I might have done this, I don't know. Train yourself to wake up in the morning, put your feet on the floor, and the first thing you say to yourself is, I am so excited for today. What a fantastic day. I can't wait. I am so grateful that I get to build my business today. I can't wait to, and then just list the things that you get to do. You get to do. This is what I'm excited for. This is what I require of myself. This is what I find incredibly fun. I find it fun. And your mind's going to go, who the heck is this person at first? But it doesn't take long. I promise you. It takes no time at all for your mind to get behind you, because it's simply a computer, but you've got to program it properly. You program your mind. Don't let the outside world do it. You take control, right? So you program your mind. And I did that for a period of time. And now, I don't need to put my feet on the floor and consciously do ever say any of that, because my subconscious mind is behind me 100%. And you will find the same. See, they say, what do they say? What does Zig Ziglar say? Something like, motivation's like a bath. That's why you take it every day. Oh, I can't even think how it goes. I'm sure somebody could comment here and tell me exactly what Zig said. But what if you didn't have to get externally motivated every day, because your subconscious mind was so freaking motivated that you would do the work and find it fun and get it done in half the time and, make more money with less work, all of the above, simply because you program that computer mind of yours to do what you really want it to do. Remember, your mind does what you tell it. It leads you away from pain. And so you want to tell it what you really, really want. You want to tell it what you enjoy, what you are looking forward to, what you're excited by. And this works if you on a conscious level, like when I said you wake up in the morning, put your feet on the floor, you do that. Part of the reason why is because when you wake up in the morning, you're actually still kind of in an alpha creative state, that state where your mind is easily suggestible. But I'm going to show you now how you can make your mind suggestible to your own suggestions, to your conscious suggestions, so that what you consciously want sinks in, and your subconscious will then get behind you and do all the heavy lifting for you. And it's essentially self-hypnosis. And hypnosis, really, you can just think of it as meditation with a goal. And what I'm going to show you right now is self-hypnosis, and you're the only one that's going to be giving yourself suggestions. Okay, so people have these weird ideas about what hypnosis is, as if I could tell you to do something you don't want to do, which is absolutely as far from any hypnotist's goal as possible. But you are the only one that is going to make the suggestions here in the next few moments. And I'll tell you that, everybody can be hypnotized. All it really means is that you've relaxed enough and that you're open to the suggestions. And hopefully you're open to your own suggestions about what it's going to take for you to be successful, right? And it helps incredibly fast. I went through some of the conscious ways that people try to shock the monkey or whip the monkey into shape, right? They may be doing things like hiring coaches or taking courses or leaving courses undone that they purchased, spending money. I call it throwing money at the problem. And all of that conscious stuff, honestly, it works over time, no doubt. But why take 5 or 10 years, literally, to get yourself on track, using just conscious methods, when what I'm about to show you here can do it in a matter of days, weeks. And that's not an exaggeration, because you bypass that conscious mind and go straight to the habit follower, the sub. All right, so this is going to help. It'll help fast. And yes, it's guaranteed to move you from where you were to a new and different way of acting and, well, first of all, seeing. It'll change the way you think, feel, and behave, which will ultimately change your life. So let's get to it, shall we? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a 6-step process of self-hypnosis. And some of you may have been walked through something like this before. This is a process that is very well known and utilized, but maybe at this point, it's more important to you. Maybe because of all the stress that you've been experiencing, you realize that now is the time to really let yourself feel good. You can think of this as a soothing activity. So if you're procrastinating, you can actually do this to soothe yourself, right? Only this one is a little sneaky, because after you're done, you probably go and get some work done, right? So this is adapted from the manifestation process from Carl Moore, and it's incredibly powerful. So let's get this rocking. So the first thing you're going to do is, even if you're watching me live or watching the recording, what I'd like you to do is just make yourself comfortable. And I know it's, wherever you are, and don't do this. Obviously, you're not going to close your eyes if you're driving or something, but most of us aren't driving right now. Isn't that true? So make yourself comfortable and close your eyes right on down. And I'm just going to tell you to relax and take a nice deep breath in. Let it go slowly, and think the word relax. And you can just take a nice deep breath in again. And let it go slowly, and think the word relax. That's right. And as you slow down your breathing and you relax, ultimately you become more suggestible to what it is you're going to let your mind know that you are excited about, what you are looking forward to doing, what you want in your life, what you really want. And now that you've slowed down your breathing, I want you to just take a moment and really visualize and bring to mind thought of what your successful life really looks like. So bring to mind images, pictures of what you living a truly successful life looks like. And I want you to just dial that in. And it doesn't matter how big or audacious your goals are, just nobody can judge you here, not even yourself. So make it big, make it loud. And precisely what is it that may have happened in your life to make you so successful? I wonder what you did to be so successful. And you can ask yourself that question. I wonder what I did to be so successful. And perhaps it was that you made enough money that you never had to worry about finances ever again, or you committed to getting really healthy, or you're more happy in general. What is it that you do more of in this incredibly successful state? What do you do less of? Let's really get this really distinct picture in your mind. And once you have that picture in your mind, and you made it really clear, I want you to then imagine what it feels like to be just as successful as you desire to be. So imagine yourself in those scenarios, in that picture of your success. What does it feel like? Maybe you have a sense of excitement or joy. Maybe you feel relief, more peaceful, maybe even ecstatic. And just really feel into what it feels like to be the most successful version of you. And make it bigger, bolder, louder. Bring it up in your body. You may even put your hand over your heart. And just feel how happy you are. You can even ask the question, how can it get better than this? And let it get even bigger, 10 times bigger, 50 times bigger. Just allow those feelings now to go through your body. Feel that energy pumping through your body. Really allow yourself to feel every bit of it. Imagine how crazy amazing you'll feel when this comes to fruition. Allow yourself to be there. Excellent. And now taking that with you, and the next step, what you're going to do is I want you to consider anything that might have come up for you that you felt might be a block to you being just as successful as you want to be. And as you do that, as these emotions or thoughts come up, I want you to just think to yourself, if you can, just for this moment, just for now, let this go. So just allowing those thoughts to come up. And it could be an emotion or a thought. Maybe it's a fear, a feel of failure, or even a fear of success. Maybe it's a self-doubt, or maybe it's thoughts about somebody else. Whatever it is, just for now, just take a nice deep breath in as you think about it. And as you let it go, you can think to yourself, can I let this go? And it doesn't really matter what you answer, whether it's yes or no, because either way, it produces a release. Okay? And just allowing yourself to see these things that subconsciously are putting the brakes on for you, right? It gives your mind a way to sidestep the problem, knowing that you're going to go forward no matter what. So, again, just taking a nice deep breath, and as you visualize and emotionalize you as a success, are there any other thoughts or emotions that come up? And it might not even be something obvious to you. Maybe it's a feeling in your stomach, or even a tightness in your throat, or in some other part of your body. Whatever it is, just take a moment, take a nice deep breath in, think about it, and think to yourself, can I let this go? And you can do that for just as long as you feel, as long as you want. And just let those self-limiting beliefs, is what they are, really just peel away like layers of an onion. Can I let this go? Just for now. And before we move on, we're going to do one more release, because you want to bring your life around to the way that you want it to be. You want to have this desired success, but you don't want to limit yourself to this vision and cut yourself off from an opportunity that could even be better. So This is kind of like, you may have heard it said, all of this or something better. So this release is, can I just for now even let go of this vision of success? Just take a nice deep breath in and let it go slowly, and just think, can I let this go? Just for now. Very good. So now, moving into the next step, we're going to move into gratitude. Okay, so this is where you're going to bring up all good feelings. I want you to think about 3 things from the last 24 hours that you can be grateful for, and bring them up in your mind. Think about this. Simple. It could be something as simple as laughter you share with friends, or an opportunity that came your way, or a meal that you had. Anything at all. Just come up with 3 things that you can be grateful for the last 24 hours, and really allow yourself to feel gratitude for them. And it might help if you imagine that you open your heart like a window, right? Open a window in your heart and beam love to those 3 things. You can feel this expansion of this energy from your heart. Do you imagine that love being beamed out of you now? Expanding from you. A few feet from you even. And just bringing that feeling now into the next step. Ask yourself, what is my next right step? So with all of the energy from the rest of the process with you, now, thinking about one thing, one step that you can take right now that'll move you forward, move you closer to being a success. And just keep in mind that this action is what actually is going to allow you to achieve your goals and dreams, right? So what is the next right step? You can ask it as, what is my next right step? Or even, what do I require in this moment? Because that can also give you an answer that will give you your next right step, right? Excellent. So now that you've got that, you know what your next right step is. So knowing it, feeling it, believing it, feeling absolutely certain that you've got everything that it takes for you to achieve your goals and dreams, you can just open up your eyes and come back. Excellent. Now write it down. Whatever the heck it is that you just said, this is what I'm going to do. This is, you're moving out of procrastination. Just like that. Boom. So write it down. And the next thing is obviously to go and do it. Right? You've got to go and take that action, because that's how you change your life. But once you've done it, I want you to celebrate like crazy. Okay? See, when you celebrate, your mind has no doubt about what you find pleasurable. All right. So when you do something that you said you were going to do in the first place, or you do this action step that you just wrote down, once you've done it, I want you to celebrate like crazy, like a little kid. Like when you were little and you were like, yay! Well, your mind had no doubt what you loved. Well, get to it. Again, tell your mind that you really love to take action in your business. Tell your mind that you really love, that you're excited by, that you're delighted, that you're ecstatic, that it's fun, that this is what you live for. This is what tell your mind that you love the activity, and it will get behind you and do all the heavy lifting. I promise you, if you celebrate when you have a win, your mind's going to go, oh, that's what they like to do. Okay, next time I'll motivate them. I'll wake them up. I'll kick them in the butt. Tell them to go and do more of that thing that they really, really love. See, you'll be internally motivated. It'll do all the heavy lifting for you. Your life will change. There's no question. Your life will absolutely change. So celebrate your wins. So for you to move forward, I would ask that you watch yourself for any of those procrastinating behaviors, right? The ones that you feel are self-soothing, that they're keeping you from doing the work that you should be doing, just watch out for it. Give yourself some grace, love on yourself some, and then make yourself feel really, really good with the process that we just went through. And the process you can do it morning and night. You can do it anytime at all. In fact, I say it's great to do it when you feel good, like right now, right? And when you feel good and you do this process and then you move towards your goals and you celebrate your wins, this cycle will begin to build up. You'll have momentum in your life your life will be nothing like what it is right now. It's about to change right here and right now. And you can get the 6-step process. I'll put the link in the description of this video and probably in the comments. And you can get the 6-step process. And I recommend that you do it in the morning and write down the steps that you're going to take. And I do actually recommend you do it at night. Write down what you're going to do the next day, right? And get some sleep. Because when you do that and you let your mind continue on this place in sleep, it actually builds up the momentum even better. So morning and night, celebrate your wins, enjoy your productivity and the rest of your life. I'm Melanie McCool. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, and I look forward to helping you to realize your dreams.